Hello, my lovelies. So we're going to do some tarot charms, mediumship, and chat for anybody who wants one tonight. The link in my bio is where you would purchase a reading. So that's listed in the comments. It's pinned there. So all the info that you need is over there. So take a look at that. Make sure my light is good so you guys can see me. That looks a little bit better. So apologies, I have not been going live very much recently. Just been really tired. So during the holiday season, since everybody's busy, I may or may not jump on at random times just to do a live. But I'm not going to hold myself to any sort of crazy schedule at the moment. And then after the first of the year, certain things will resume. So one of the things that's paused right now is the podcast. So there won't be any new episodes until January, just so that we can focus on everything else that's going on and celebrate with family and all that stuff. So if I get a wild hair and decide that I want to do a podcast episode, it'll be a random podcast out of nowhere. And if not, it'll be January that I resume episodes. So that's one of the things that's going on. I hope that when people come to lives, they stay for the announcement part. It's usually in the beginning so that they know what's changing on the channel because, we're always changing stuff over there. So we're doing readings tonight. You can purchase a reading, but I also read for the collective. So what is the collective? It's anybody who happens to come across this video. So it will have a replay. If you get a personal reading, it will be in here. I deleted the last one that I did because it just didn't feel like good energy. So I deleted it. I was going through a lot of emotional stuff. And so I don't like to cry on camera. So I deleted it. So you didn't have to see that because we do enough of that, right? So anyways, I'm just straightening up my decks. If you're curious, what is she doing? I'm making sure they're facing the right way. I do that before we start pulling cards. So if you are new here, you've never seen me before, who is this crazy lady? I'm Jenna. Hi, good to see you. So I'm an author. I read tarot. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. It means I listen to my intuition. So I might read the same card 8,000 different ways because depending on what's around it, my intuition tells me something different. So you will see that in the readings. If you see me looking like I'm dazed in outer space, because I'm channeling. I'm usually channeling when I read tarot. I also channel when I'm a mediumship, doing mediumship readings. So if you see that where I look like I'm just losing it, I'm just channeling. It's normal over here. So we're doing charms as well. I have about, around 400 charms in here. So we're going to pull some of those for the collective, and all of these are open for purchase this evening. So I like to do some for the collective so you can kind of see what it's about. Sometimes those resonate really well for you. So if that happens to be something that resonates and you didn't purchase a reading, that's fabulous. It's past my bedtime. Sometimes it is. I had gone to bed really early the last few nights and woke up super early the last couple of days. Don't know why. Have no idea. I'm not normally an early bird, but it's been happening recently. It's a little weird. So what was it? 2 or 3 days ago, I woke up at 4 a.m. No idea why. There was no real reason. I got up to go to the bathroom, was going to lay back down, and my dog was like, yeah, no, we're awake. Let's play. No, we slept till maybe 6:30, and then we got up, and we'd been up all day. Today, I woke up a little later, 8:30. So that was better. I got a few more hours of sleep, felt a lot better. And then we did a ton of yard work. So I am tired. So this isn't going to be a super long live or anything tonight, but I haven't been on in a couple of weeks and I wanted to see you guys. So here we are. Trying to think if there's any announcements other than what I told you guys. The podcast is on hold until January because nobody's hanging out. Nobody's watching stuff right now. Everybody's worried about holidays and spending time with each other and all that. And that's what you should be doing. So that's fine. Sometimes the channel gets a lot more people during the holiday season and sometimes it's quiet. So I'll still have content up. I'm just holding off on the podcast for now. And then I'll restart some episodes in January. And I have convinced all of my sons to do a ghost hunting with me in about 2 weeks, week and a half. Let me see. Let me look at the calendar. 2 weeks. So that will be up on the channel after the fact. We decided, since everybody's crazy busy, all my kids are grown, Some of them have plans elsewhere for Thanksgiving. So we're going to meet a few days before and we're going to do like a charcuterie board Thanksgiving. And I'm stoked about it. I can't wait to see what they pick. So that's fun. And we're going to do that. And then there is a spot up by them that I have been before, but they haven't all been present. So they want to go this time. We actually had discussed going the other day when I visited them, but I didn't have any of my stuff with me. And that was the first thing they asked, well, do you have your stuff? No, I didn't know you guys would want to go do that. So we'll have all that stuff. I'm going to have all 4 of my sons with me. One of them is injured at the moment, so he won't be doing a lot of walking around. I told him, well, you can be a cameraman for me, or we'll bring you a folding chair or something so you can sit out there with us. And we're going to go explore this place that's up near them. One of them told me some backstory that I didn't know about this place, so I'm going to do a little bit of research and see if I can dig anything up prior to us going up there. And one of them's an instigator. He likes to rile things up, so we'll see what happens with that. They are my comic relief. So they have a very twisted sense of humor. And I told them, you don't have to have filters. We just got to make sure that we follow the guidelines so that our video doesn't get taken down. But I am so excited to go with all my kids to go do this. So hopefully we catch something. That would be even more spectacular. So we're going to go do our charcuterie board and then we're going to go ghost hunting. And that's going to be our Thanksgiving special for you guys. So I'm super excited. Normally we're at home cooking, and this year we're not. We're going to go to my oldest stepdaughter's house for dinner on Thanksgiving. And I guess we're cooking a turkey and maybe some other little oddball things. And then everybody else is bringing something kind of like a potluck. So that should be fun too. So I don't have to be in the kitchen the whole time. I'm loving that part. And I think that's about it. So nothing too exciting going on. We're going to keep things kind of low key, but I definitely wanted to come hang out with you guys tonight. That will wake the dead. So yeah, my oldest son, he flat out asked me, he said, so I like to kind of rile things up. Is that okay with you? I said, I have limits, like try not to be completely disrespectful or anything, but he wants to know the person's name that passed in this area. So we're going to see if we can find any news articles or anything about it. I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but I want to say within the last 10 years or so. The whole road that we're going to go explore is rumored to be really haunted. And there's lots of different tales of things that have happened up there. Hey, Bridie, good to see you. So I don't know if we're going to capture anything or not. You never know what's going to happen. But one of them definitely wants to like rattle some cages. The other one, he has very like dark, twisted humor like I do. So he makes me laugh a lot. And then my younger 2 boys, they're a little unsure of like, do I even want to be part of this stuff? They don't really like it. So we'll see how things go. This might be the only time all 4 of them decide they want to do it. Maybe they'll decide they want to go more. I don't know. We'll play it by ear and see what happens. I think it would be a kick in the head to have all of us do these on a somewhat regular basis together. I think it would be a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens. I think my oldest believes that this stuff is pretty real. I think, my second oldest definitely does. My younger 2, I think they're still kind of on the fence. They're a little unsure of whether the supernatural stuff is really real. So it's different when you see it happening in real time. Like obviously I channel and I connect to passed on loved ones and everything. So I know it's real, but it's different when you have a firsthand account experience. So we'll see. So that'll be happening in 2 weeks. And then usually it's like that night or the next day that I upload all the footage. So you guys will see it pretty fresh after it's happened. So what's new with you guys? Anything exciting going on? Anybody doing anything fun for the holidays? I know, Bridie, you're in a totally different part of the world. So do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving? Probably not, right? Or do you guys have like a day for that over there in Australia? Ours is in 2 weeks. The 20, 27th this year is our Thanksgiving. So we're going to eat a bunch of food and then we're going to go ghost hunting. Me and my adult kids. Don't do it all. Okay, gotcha. I figured not because I think Canada has like a Thanksgiving, but I'm pretty sure America is the only other country that even celebrates that. So figured you didn't, but I wanted to ask because I didn't know. So we really like eat way too much food, and it's supposed to be about like family and community and what you're thankful for and all that stuff. And usually we just eat too much food and then lay around and watch football. It's not super exciting. If you like food, though, it can be exciting. And then they have something over here for people who don't have like a bunch of family or don't want to be a part of family stuff called Friendsgiving. So like it's a bunch of friends that get together and eat a bunch of food and celebrate. So that can be kind of fun. And I have 4 grown sons, and so we decided we're going to do like a little potluck charcuterie board stuff about 2 days before. And then we're going to go ghost hunting. So that's what we're going to do. And then 2 days later, we're going to have our real Thanksgiving. And we're going to go to some of the other kids' house and eat a lot of food. So should be entertaining this year. It's weird because all of our kids are adults now. And so like, you know, they all have their own lives, right? They all want to go hang out with their friends or whatever they're doing, and it's hard to nail them all down and coordinate. So we're in uncharted territory the last few years. Last year, the older kids that still were living here, they did all the cooking. They told me, nope, you're not in the kitchen this year. You're not cooking. We're cooking. I was like, okay. And it came out pretty good. We only had one mishap that some jalapeno poppers didn't turn out, and we redid them and it was fine. So it was a pretty good time. I kind of like this having older kids stuff because when they were really tiny, exhausting to travel to all the in-laws and the grandparents, and everybody wants to see everybody. So I'm glad that I don't have to do all of that anymore because that was really tiring. But also glad that I don't have to be the only one cooking. So that's also a plus. So let's start with some tarot for you guys. So anybody that finds this as part of the collective, can you guys hear me? Is it loud enough? Because I'm on the laptop, so it's not always loud enough. I want to make sure I do that before we start. And readings are open. If anybody wants to purchase one, we're doing tarot charms and mediumship. If you click the pinned comment, it's got all the info on there. Sound is good. Perfect. We had some tech issues over on TikTok a little bit ago. Backed out of it to see a payment, and all of a sudden it was like, we can't hear you. Oh, man. Had to fix it. Okay. So let's see. We're about mid-November. What's going on from now until like mid-December? Ooh, that one flew out. What was that? Ooh. King of Pentacles. Love that. Okay. So some of you could be meeting somebody who is like an entrepreneur, somebody who is a business owner. Somebody might even be offering you a job. He's usually seen as like a CEO, right? He's like the head of something. Ooh, there could be some endings coming. Okay. I will show you guys all these cards. Let's get them all out. It looks like something might be ending in a financial or business aspect. And then somebody's going to take some action somewhere towards love. What is going on, Spirit? What is all this? I do think somebody has quite a bit of money, and I don't think that the female energy in the equation has a clue. Interesting. Okay. What else we got going on here? All right. So this could either be like a job opportunity that's coming in. Let me clear some space here. This could be a job opportunity coming in, or it could be love. This could be somebody that is financially really stable. They could be a business owner, something like that. They could be offering you a job, but I do think there's some endings going on with the Death card. And that's current timing with Scorpio season. So maybe something has ended with somebody at work or in love, however that happens to fit. And somebody's getting ready to take some action towards somebody that they want a connection with. I feel like this earth sign energy is someone who maybe their whole focus was on career and earning a living. And so love was kind of not something that they were worried about, right? It'll happen later. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. I'll find love once I'm settled. I do think there's a wish fulfillment that's coming in, right? But I think there's some teamwork or collaborations. Oh, that's interesting. It could even be like they're giving me the word joint venture. It could be a business deal. Who's mixing business and pleasure? Interesting. I'm not a huge fan of like dating the boss or whatever, but I do think that's a possibility with this. We have the Queen of Swords as well. I think somebody's going to reject an offer for commitment. Ooh, okay. So this Ice Queen, Queen of Swords, might be turning down some sort of offer or opportunity in love. There is the possibility of commitment here, but it's like somebody's got their walls up really high. Someone needs to do some shadow work. Okay. I feel like this masculine energy has retreated, and they're giving me the words to rebuild after an ego death. Okay. And then I feel like they started to plan or set some goals of kind of how to get out of the doghouse because there's a lot of conflict there, or there was. And now they're willing to do the work. I need more information. Okay. Interesting. What else? Ooh, what else is going on here? Ooh, judgment and temperance. Well, Spirit says it's time's up. So I feel like they're going to rectify the situation. There's a chance for reconciliation because somebody sees a new perspective, right? Because judgment is all about resetting the balance or improvements coming, change in perspective. It's like it brings in a sense of freedom. This person's reclaiming their strength. And we have the Knight of Swords. So that tells us that this person's found their confidence after they healed, right? Because that's the shadow work. So they can come after their Queen of Cups. We have her 2 times. This is the object of this person's affection. They want to come in and they're playing songs in my head. I love it. Spirit has been so loud in my head lately. It's crazy. They're playing, I think it's the song from Aladdin, I Can Show You the World. I think it's called A Whole New World. I don't know who sings it. It's in the Aladdin movie. Let's see. It says, I can show you the world. Something about enchantment. Taking you for a magic carpet ride. Wow. Okay. They want to come in and offer something stable. Okay. Where I feel like everything's been kind of in the air because this person wasn't in their healed energy. Now they want to put in the work. Now they want commitment. Now they want to offer stability. Interesting. Is it toxic? Is it? Because if it is, say no. We don't want any toxic stuff. But we do have a new love offer, and we also have the Hermit out here twice. So I want to say that both people have been working on themselves. This could be twin flame energy, but I don't have anything out here that would tell me that it is for sure just yet. So let's see. Let's get a few more cards. New love offer. New love offer. What's going on? Yep. Truth or clarity. Spirit's telling me someone's about to come spill their guts. They are about to verbal vomit. Oh, man. Okay, what else? Yep, because now they're in their divine energy. Love it. All right. So I think they're facing their fears in order to come forward and say what they need to say. That's a song, too, that's playing in my head. I can't think who sings that right off the top of my head. Say what you want to say. Let the words fall out. It's a woman that sings it. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. Wow. Okay. Tower moment followed by the sun. Sorry, I can't figure out how to focus the stupid camera. So, decisions needing to be made about love, lovers. I feel like there's financial blessings as well. Verbal vomit. Come on. Verbal vomit. This person's about to express how they feel, but somebody's guard is still super high. So trust your intuition because this love offer is genuine coming in. Unexpected. You won't see it coming. Money in abundance coming in. Somebody might also be getting an inheritance, and it could also be a manifestation coming in. Okay, that's interesting. Let's get some charms. What is going on? What pertains to this reading? There we go. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, love. Love's coming in. All right. I feel like there's been an ego death, right? You versus you. This person and you are both like energetically, they're telling me tethered. So you might already know who this person is. I feel like somebody could also be studying religious scripture. Maybe somebody's reading the Bible more, connecting to spirit more. And that brings in some peace. I love that. Little peace sign. Little peace sign. Okay. So there's something about a star. Somebody might be wishing on a star, wish fulfillment. See a shooting star. That could also be important. The inner work's transforming you. So death, rebirth, transformation. The death card's out here as well. Asking spirit for help, right? Spiritual prayer, protection, all those things. Someone might live at a distance, might live around water, a marina, boats. Trying to think if there's anything else coming through with that one. There's travel here, and I do feel like there's, what is that old song, Wind Beneath My Wings? That's what's playing in my head. The wind in your sails. This person is really in love and they want to come forward. So I feel like once they get their nerve up to actually speak their mind, it's just like they're not going to be able to contain it anymore. And something that like you really left a mark on this person. Ships, anchors, stability, right? There's something to do with water. They're showing me something to do with moonlight. And they're playing another song in my head. I think it's called Kiss Me in the Moonlight. Interesting. All right. So we are in the year of the wood snake. So it's all about shedding your skin, the old versions of yourself that don't resonate anymore. We're going to say no to those. We're going through this major evolution in order to heal. Love that. We have the Caduceus. Okay. Someone might also work in a medical field, like a nurse, nurse's assistant, tech, whatever, something to do with the medical field. We do have angels that are helping, and I'm pretty sure we had temperance out here. Let me look. Yep, sure do. So the angels are helping with things behind the scenes. Moon and stars, something about the night sky is super significant. We have a little deer. That might be a nickname that somebody has given you or calls you. I also feel like innocence. This person likes the innocent qualities that you seem to have, and they want to come in offering commitment. We also had the Ace of Cups, and we also had the Four of Wands. We also had the Two of Cups. So I do think this person is coming in to give you a legitimate commitment. They might even be coming in cuffing season to put a ring on it. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. So we're doing tarot charms or mediumship tonight. If you guys would like a reading, the link is in the little description box over here, so you guys can click that. I take Cash App or Zelle. Let's see. Clean up all my mess here. So what's everybody doing? You guys got any plans this weekend? Anything fun and exciting going on? Not me. I'll be resting tomorrow. That's about it. Resting or working. One or the other. There we go. Always dropping stuff. Let's see. What else was I going to tell you guys? I don't know. My brain just always goes blank anymore. Do you have another light near you? It's a little dark. I'll just turn the brightness up. Is that better? Sometimes I turn it up. Sometimes I turn it down. Let me angle it a little bit. There we go. Maybe don't fall. Okay. Is that better? Now you can see me. So I haven't seen that movie Aladdin in so long. Oh my gosh. But songs have been playing in my head like crazy the last few days. There's a video I think I put up yesterday or the day before that it was like Divine Masculine was trying to communicate his feelings through music to Divine Feminine energy. So I think there was 4 or 5 songs that came through and they were loud. It felt like somebody had turned on a loudspeaker in my head and just started switching through different songs. And I thought, what in the world? So I went ahead and I wrote it all down and recorded it and everything because I thought it's too specific to not put it out there. So I did. And then I was channeling the other day some crazy energy. I could see people like having fist fights. And I thought, I don't even know what's happening. And then the message started to become a little clearer that there was people basically arguing over another person, and there were fist fights because this person wanted to come in and like claim what they thought was theirs. So the energy's been a little wild. Channeling has definitely been just like amplified the last few weeks. So when it's really haywire, I try not to record a lot of stuff because sometimes the messages are a little garbled. Plus, Mercury in retrograde sometimes makes it to where you guys have seen I trip over my own tongue. I can't communicate well. Words get jumbled. And so I usually try and take a little bit of time to just let that pass. This time it hasn't really been that bad. There's a few videos that I've kind of tripped over my words and stuff, but it wasn't horrible. So I don't know. Weird. The energy is just weird all the way around. Very, very different than usual to me. The other thing I will tell you is that there's been a lot of like blocked stuff going on. Weird way to put it, but almost like spirits guiding me to remove things from my life or my energy. So like on TikTok, I've been blocking accounts left and right. Just like, nope, the energy doesn't resonate. Nope, don't like that. Nope, I don't want it around me. I don't want to see it anymore. So I just keep blocking the things that are not fitting right now. So I don't know. Maybe some stuff's going on like that for other people too. The Schumann's been nuts again. It's always nuts here lately. I've noticed a lot of people are starting to realize that they're waking up, that they're ascending, that they're seeing things differently. And so that's a really strange thing to be, I've already gone through my awakening through the major one. And so to see all these little babies that are awakening, and some of them are older people, but they're like their little spiritual selves are waking up. So that's really neat to see. Lots of people. It's like all of a sudden the light bulb clicked on for them, and it's like, oh, wow, things really are different. Oh, wow, now I know stuff and I can't go backwards. So it's interesting to see all that. I feel like in the first half of next year, there's going to be some changes for. I feel like there's going to be people who already have processed through their awakening that are going to be called to be in like power roles, teaching roles. We're going to help this next wave of people learn a little easier as opposed to having to go through things as hard or as difficult as we did. I feel like we're going to start to see like spiritual schools happen, online courses, things like that we're going to start to see this next wave of volunteers come in and really want to kind of chomp at the bit to learn how to process through all this stuff. So I think that's interesting that we're going to start to see that. Old and waking up. You're never too old. So that's the good news. You're never too old for it to happen. I feel like sometimes it's like we all do it at different ages. So I don't necessarily think that matters at all. I think it's just when we're energetically ready to change, right? To come into alignment with who and where we're supposed to be. And it happens at all different ages. I was 40 when mine really happened, but I had like a smaller one when I was in my late 20s. So some people would call that like a Saturn return. And we have those typically about 3 in our life, depending on how old we live to be. But it's like every 28 years, it's a Saturn return. And so Saturn is a planet that has to do with karma and structure, discipline, rules and regulations. So when I was 28, I went through a major loss. I went through a really crummy divorce, lost custody of my kids, had several nervous breakdowns, was homeless, was an alcoholic, dealt with health problems. Like 28 was a scary fucking year for me. Let's be really blunt. It was like life altering at 28. And so 28 years from that, I think would be around like 56 or something. Math is not my friend. So like in my late 50s, things will go through a upheaval again. I think I'll probably be a little bit better equipped to handle it in my 50s than I was in my 20s, but weird, right? So all these things tend to happen around certain ages. I feel like my Saturn return has been going for 11 years. Well, your Capricorn's been going through some things. So one of those, can't remember which planet it was, but there was a planet that really was wreaking havoc for specific placements, in Capricorn was one of them. And so it was like a 10 or 11-year cycle, and you're starting to come out of that. So hopefully around January, things really do start to make some forward momentum. Mercury will go direct at the end of this month, about the 29th or so. And then we have, let me think, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, and Mercury. I think we're all retrograde right around the same time together. So yeah, it's been rough. I think 6 of the 9 planets or whatever all together retrograde. So yeah, you would feel that. That's not just like oh, it's fine. No, it's gonna wreck some shit. The other night I was coming back from seeing my kids, and knew I needed to get gas in my truck, and the highway was like bumper to bumper. And so every time I was trying to get off at an exit, there was an issue. I couldn't get over, signaling, no one would move. It's like, so that was stupid. Then there was an accident, so the police were blocking off the exit ramp for the next spot. So I was like, well, fuck it. We're just going to hope for the best and hope I make it home. I literally got like probably 500 feet from the exit that I needed to get off by my house to get gas, and my truck ran out of gas on the highway. I've never in my life run out of gas in my cars ever. I've never done it. I always am the type that it's like, oh, I need to go get gas. I'll go take care of that because I don't want to run out. And I laughed about it. I called my boyfriend. I was like, hi, are you busy? And he was like, I was eating dinner. What's going on? I said, so I'm down the road and I ran out of gas. He was like, you did? Are you serious? Yeah. Can you bring me some gas, please? So I just laughed about it. My oldest son was with me, and we just sat and had a conversation and waited. And then I was too close to the edge of the road, so we had to push my truck over a little bit to fill it up, and then started it up, went, got gas, went home. It was fine. But normally I would panic in situations like that. I laughed. I was just like, how dumb. I ran out of gas. What a dum-dum. So I laughed at myself. Everything was fine, and we got home. But just weird things like this retrograde has felt so different than previous ones, which tells me that I've really been working on myself. I really am healing some things, because otherwise retrogrades are kind of not so fun, right? It brings up stupid stuff. Sometimes it's exes, memories, situations, things that are unresolved, right? So it's a review process. So all these things that come up during that time, it's like, hi, remember me? Yeah, we had issues. Are you ready to deal with those issues yet? Or we're going to push them back till next time. So if there's issues that keep resurfacing when we're in a retrograde, why? Well, it's not resolved. So good, bad, or indifferent, it has to be resolved. You have to make a clear choice of, do you want it? Do you don't want it? And if you don't want it, are you prepared to let it go? So I don't know. It hasn't been near as painful, knock on wood. But some in the past have been doozies, right? And I know a lot of people normally are like, oh my God, everything's falling apart. This one hasn't felt like that, with the exception of this one has really affected my money. So that's something that I'm ready for that to change for the better. But short of that, everything's been pretty calm, which is good. That means healing is taking place. So I'm excited to see what happens the first of the year. Do you guys also, because I like doing the predictive readings. So I think in December, what I'm going to do, and they're going to be longer readings. So I'm going to pace myself and only do a couple of them a day, and then upload them slowly over time. They'll all be ready for like before December is done. But I think instead of doing a bunch of readings at that time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on your predictions for 2026. each sign's going to get their own reading. And I'm going to pull charms. I'm going to channel messages for each sign, and I'm going to pull tarot. So you get like a bunch of stuff. So these might be like a half an hour or more for each sign is what I'm going to try and do. So it's going to take me several days to probably do all of that and get it uploaded and everything. But I think you guys will actually like what I'm wanting to do. And then going forward into 2026, I think I'm going to eliminate some of the weekly readings and go to more sign specific stuff, and then probably throw in like some love readings, because those seem to be the ones that most people want. I am still going to include shadow work and stuff on the channel, just not like every single week post it. But I feel like it's important because, again, we have this new wave of people that are waking up that are going to need to uncover some things. So I feel like the shadow work and the spiritual guidance are also needed, but I just don't want to just do the exact same readings every single week. You guys know that. Like, I get bored really easy, so I'm always changing stuff up. But I really want to focus going forward on mediumship stuff. So yes, I'm still going to do tarot because I feel like it's a useful tool, but I want to incorporate more mediumship stuff in. So some of the channels that I watch are like really, really different. One guy that I watch, he does a ton of astrology plus tarot. And so that's like his bread and butter. That's what he does. I don't know enough about astrology, but I want to learn. So that might also be something I start to include in the future if I figure out enough stuff that I feel like I'm confident. But mediumship, that's like something that I really want to focus on in the readings. So during lives and stuff, I think what I really want to do, I think I will post it in advance and maybe once a month, because I don't want to do it every single weekend. But once a month, I'll post it in advance. So check the, the community tab on the channel, and I'll put it in there. So it'll be like an announcement. And what I want to do is I want to figure out in advance, like who wants to come, and then it's going to be for subscribers only, and we're going to do some mediumship stuff for free. So it might be a longer live. It might be a little bit more in depth. I don't know. We'll play that part by ear, but I want to be able to focus on doing a lot of mediumship stuff going forward, because I know more people are interested in that than just tarot. Anyone can pick up a deck, read a book, and learn how to do tarot. It's not a complicated thing. Now, there are readers that I feel like are really gifted, really tapped in, and pick up the energy super great, and that's awesome. But again, tarot is not something that, is like super hard to do. You can learn how to do that. Mediumship, not everybody does that. And that's a skill set that I have and I want to use. And so I want to start doing some mediumship stuff going forward. So in January, that's when some of these things are going to start over here, is like we'll have it called like the monthly meeting or something, the monthly meetup that we'll do that. And it's open to all subscribers. And then I might just pick people who I feel drawn to in those and read for them. So I think that would be fun. I'm probably going to do some of that on my TikTok if I still have TikTok at that point. I have one post over there on my channel, literally one post. And let me look. I will show you. At last check, it had over 5,000 views in 3 days, and that never happens to me. So that was weird. And then I posted some little readings that are over here, and they got 0 views in like 2 days. So I just deleted them. I was like, it's fine. We're just not even going to worry about it anymore. Let's see what we've got going on here. My phone is ultra slow, so apologies. But yeah, I don't know what the heck the deal is, why something will get a ton of views and then other things don't. Same thing over here. We're at 6,039. Maybe. Right there. So me with the hat. 6,039 views since like 2 days ago or something. Let me see, when did I post this? 2 days ago. That's just wild to me. I don't understand what changed or what's different. So that was weird. I'm that kind of person that it's like, oh, something's actually working. That's weird. How did that happen? I have no idea. So that's I don't know. I had one post over there about 2 or 3 years ago that hit like almost 40,000 views. And that's the most I think any video I've ever put out on either platform has ever had. So that would be a miracle if all of a sudden stuff really started to gain momentum and traction. I've been manifesting that shit for like 5 years that my stuff would finally take off. So we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's why I'm hesitant to completely let it go, because all of a sudden it's like something's changed. So I don't know. We'll see. If I keep TikTok, I think it's going to be used kind of limited. I think I really I'm not super interested in posting a bunch of videos over there, but going live, I do tend to get a lot of interactions. Like one lady purchased a reading tonight over there, so that was cool. I don't know. So I'm just gonna see what happens. Giving myself till the end of the year to make a total decision whether I keep it or not, or if I keep posting, or if I only go live. I just don't know. But it's interesting to see it grow, because what was it? Yesterday I was watching it off and on, and there was over 2,000 new views and then new subscribers and stuff, and it was happening quickly. And I thought, what's happening? Like all of a sudden people are watching my videos. And I asked my boyfriend, I was like, I don't understand, is like, I didn't do anything different. And he said, it's the weird hat. I said, so it's my lucky hat. I'll show you. It's this hat. One of them that I made. I love this hat. So I made it really long. It's called a slouchy hat. So this part's like big and like it's really tall if I hold it up. And then these little crazy doodads, they remind me of like spiral noodles. It's like hair, since my hair is always short. So like I can whip my hair around and be silly. Sometimes it's just fun. And then it hits like the middle of my back because they're super long and dangly. So not that you could probably see, but it hits all the way down here. So it's silly. When I feel like I need hair or something, I just throw on one of my silly hats. And I had that hat on just on a whim. I don't know why I even had the hat on. It wasn't like it was super cold or anything, but I just threw the hat on and did the video, and all of a sudden it's getting traction. So whatever, maybe it's the lucky hat. I don't know. Maybe I need to crochet more hats and wear them. Whatever. We'll figure it out or we won't. I don't know. So that's about all the announcements I think I have. I may or may not post a freebie for mediumship, little mini ones this next week. So check that out. If I do, same thing, just got to be following or subscribe to the channel, comment on there, and then quick little like 3-minute whatever happens to come through. I like those. Those have been fun. I took a little bit of time off from doing those, like a week or so, just because I don't want to get burnt out. So I'm trying to pace myself and not work like a dog all the time. And it's working out better. I don't feel upset about doing so much anymore because I've scaled things back. I already have all your videos ready for next week. So those will play every single day. And then that frees up time for me to do all these other things that I want to do. So that part is going to stay the same. I'm always going to record stuff in advance for the week ahead. And then I'm really excited to see what's going to happen for 2026. And we're only like 6 weeks out. So that I'm super excited for. Next year, we're going to be in the year of the horse. I think this lady that I watched, she called it the fire horse. And she said it's about freedom, it's about adventure, it's about, completing difficult things and finally getting to enjoy some good things in life. So who doesn't want that? That sounds pretty awesome. And then the prediction videos, those will be up. Should I do them like towards the last half of December, like middle of December, or should I wait and do them for like your New Year's readings? Because I could do either one. Yay, freedom. We definitely need that. Channeling your hippie girl. Yeah, definitely a hippie at heart. Definitely. Free spirit, And yeah, we could use some freedom. Those last couple of years have been shit. Absolute shit. So what do you guys think? Should we do it more towards the end of December for the monthlies? Well, the yearlies. It'd be the yearly prediction. So maybe I think I'll do it this way. I think about mid-December, I'll do the January monthly, right, for what's happening in January. And then around New Year's, I'll do the individual signs year ahead prediction. That way you get like 2 pretty good size messages back to back. Put in mid-December so we have something to look forward to. Okay, so I'll probably put the January monthlies about mid-December, and then probably like the last week of December is when the yearlies will come out. Does that make sense? And then that way you guys have stuff like a few days before New Year's, all the signs will be up. They'll all be ready by the 1st of the year. And so I try and do that to like get ahead of it, because otherwise I feel like stuff just, I'm just busy and forget. And then let's see, we go from Sagittarius to Capricorn. So there will be a Capricorn reading up around that time too. Trying to think if there's anything else that I normally would do. But I'm super stoked to do you guys' year ahead predictions. Oh, and I can't wait because I know I did one, was it like a year ago, 2 years ago? Did some for the year ahead, and some of the stuff that I predicted actually like happened within that year, within like 6 to 9 months of it. So that was neat. And I think that's why I like doing them, because then you can look back and go, holy crap, that actually happened. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what's going to happen for all you guys. It's some things that I feel like are going to change for the better, like collectively speaking. I feel like a lot of things are going to transform with finances for the better, where I feel like we've been really stuck, really held back. I feel like that's going to change for the better. It's almost like spirits showing like handcuffs coming off, right? Like things have been really stuck, really, really trapped in these negative situations, financial stuff, hiccups for confirmation. But it's almost like spirit is taking the reins and setting us free, cutting off the handcuffs. And so we're able to finally get somewhere financially again. And I think we desperately need that. I also think we're going to start to see some crazy stuff happen with technology in the next years. Like the next probably 2 to 3 years, we're going to start to see some really crazy tech advancements. Some of it's going to be in healthcare, new like devices, machinery, testing, discoveries. We're in the age of Aquarius. So we know that that's going to happen in the next 20 years. But I think specifically in the next like 2 to 3 years is when we're going to start to see a lot of things really change. And they're going to be positive changes. So I love that. I think we're going to see certain like diseases and illnesses like have the ability to be cured or really managed well to where these people aren't suffering and don't really have symptoms. So that's going to be interesting. Travel, I feel like there's going to be travel and movement that's available for people. I think I'm going to be one of those people that's traveling a lot in the next few years. Doing what, I still don't know, but but I feel like I'm going to be traveling a lot. A sense of community, I feel like, is going to start to come back to people too. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see what really happens. I think it'll be interesting. And you can say, who told you first? This girl. So excited. That's why I love to have like documentation of stuff that I channel, right? Whether it's in a video, whether it's, a personal message, whatever, because then there's a paper trail, right? You can go, oh shit, she said that. And look, now it's happening. Travel sounds fun, doesn't it? I think it would be so much fun to be able to go explore places that have been on bucket lists and things like that. And I do think that's a possibility, because I think there's going to be like, what is the right way to put that? It's almost like if the finances have been the only real reason why we couldn't do that, that part's going to become easier. So the money will just exist. And then we can just do what we want. How wild would that be, right? It's like, oh yeah, no, all my bills are paid and I have so much money in the bank, I don't know what to do with myself. Let's go. Finally catching up to Star Trek, people left, right? I used to love to watch that show, but now it's here, right? All the technology, crazy stuff. We were just talking, what was it, yesterday or earlier today? We were just talking about AI and robots and like the Terminator movies, right? You remember those from like the 80s and 90s, the Terminator movies? What's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger. I feel like we're living that now, right? We have Skynet, we have, what is Elon's Starlink stuff, Neuralink, right? Like he's got this programmable chip that they can put in your brain, basically. I'm not exactly sure what it does. I think it was supposed to be part of like healing the body. Let's say you were paralyzed or something, that it goes in there and like resets stuff to fix it or something. Chips that they implant in like the hand to scan things like your digital wallet and all that stuff. Crazy stuff that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, but we're living it. So do you remember the cartoon, The Jetsons? Did you guys ever see that growing up, where they had the little Rosie robot? So they had an AI in their house. They had all this tech stuff that would cook meals for them, clean their house, right? Like we have a Roomba, which is, we don't personally, but Roombas exist. The little remote control vacuum cleaner, basically. We have all these crazy electric cars. I mean, there's so much technology. It's crazy. And we've barely tapped the tip of the iceberg. So I think it's going to get exponentially more, right? We're going to see more and more of this. I want to call it alien because it seems alien to me, but the artificial intelligence stuff. And I feel like it's also going to get out of hand. Let's say in the next like 8 to 10 years, I feel like it's going to get out of hand. And so I feel like we're going to pass laws that require AI to not be overdeveloped and have like safety parameters, because I feel like there's going to be mishaps or accidents as a result of like self-driving cars or robots like losing their shit and harming humans. I do think we're going to start to see some of that. They're just machines, right? So they can absolutely have pitfalls. It's like all the recalls that we see on automobiles. I do think we'll see some of that, unfortunately, but it's a learning curve. I think over the next like 20, 30 years, we'll probably see things refined to where we coexist with this AI stuff in our reality. I feel like there's going to be a need for them, but in a capacity where they work alongside of us in society, which is really strange. So I think it's going to be a real pivotal point in the next like 10 to 20 years of all these crazy things that change. Some of it is here to stay, and some of it is going to be like a short-lived thing that we see. So we'll see. I can't wait till I channel for all you guys' signs so we can see what's going to happen for you guys specifically. But it is absolutely crazy, the mind reading stuff. Yeah. We were just saying the other day, or even earlier today, we were talking about something, and then he goes and he turns the channel on whatever he was watching, and there was an ad for what we had just discussed. It's like they're absolutely listening 100% of the time. Do you guys know what smart dust is? Have you guys heard that term? So the theory is that when everything was shut down in 2020, that they bioengineered this stuff called smart dust, which is like little nanobot technology. So like itty bitty tiny microscopic dust sized particles, and that it was injected into the air in the atmosphere so that when we inhaled it, these little nanobots get inside of us, and they're like little computer programs that basically everything that we think or do is sent back to like a giant supercomputer. And so they think that that's part of why like your phone or your TV reads your thoughts sometimes. Because there's things I've thought about, but I never spoke it, never typed it out, nothing like that. And it would all of a sudden appear in my reality. So part of me wonders, right? Crazy though, huh? So think about all the natural disasters and just dust storms, clouds, things like that. We know cloud seeding has happened where they're spraying crazy shit in the atmosphere in order to manipulate the weather. So we've seen that happen. Aliens came out, and like apparently we have real aliens that have been here for a long time. I mean, all these things that would have freaked us out prior to 2020, now we're just like, okay, it's just another Tuesday, It's like, is that all you got? Because, people are batshit crazy. So I don't know. The other thing was I channeled a message like a week or so ago, and I'm trying to remember what was the topic. What was the main thing of that? Let me see if I can remember. I don't remember, but it's on here. It's on YouTube. And I remember I had some crazy dreams and like a crazy download. And some of it was like zombies, but they weren't your Hollywood version of zombies. They were like mindless people. That was really weird. And part of me is wondering, is this something that's coming? Not that it's like the apocalypse, but I mean, it could be, where they're just completely blank. They look like everyday people, but it's like their brains turned off. It's the weirdest thing in the world. And the channel download that was coming through had to do with like psyops, which is like psychological operations. And it said that it was like 2 decades in the making. So that was creepy. I was like, that's something that people might want to hear. So I put that one out because I was like, that's super, super weird. So it's on the channel. If you guys are curious, just check it out. I would say probably like a week or so ago. So scroll through the videos. It should be in the playlist that has to do with like channeled messages, I think is where I stuck it. I think. I don't know. It's like a week or so ago that I posted that. But it was really specific. It wasn't super vague. It wasn't like, oh, yeah, maybe. No, it was crystal clear to me. There was something to do with like frequency. Oh, psychosis. That was the other thing that Spirit was showing me, is that the people that this was happening to, they ended up seeing zombies and they thought that they were hallucinating, which triggered a psychosis or like a psychotic episode. And the frequency was what was contributing to them seeing these demons. And as a result, there was like, it turned them into a zombie. It was bizarre. I was like, I never channel stuff like this. That is so weird. So I wrote it all down to document it. Not that I'm prefacing saying it's going to happen, but it was so weird that I had to document it. I thought I was wide awake when this happened. I wasn't dreaming it. So I don't know. Better watch out in the cemetery. Zombies. I feel like the living people are always scarier than the people that are buried in the cemetery. So what's weird is, did you see the last ghost hunting thing that I did? What was his title? I don't even remember. He was like a groundskeeper, but he also did photography for the cemetery for like all the headstones, so that the ones that are damaged, they can document them, get the information off of them, and then eventually catalog it and even repair the headstone, I guess, so that they don't lose what they have there. So he said he had like 6,500 that he had to do, and he was at like 3,300 or something. So he had a ton more to do still. And the area that I went to, most of the headstones were broken. They were like the older ones, the very first settlers had been at, so like 1860s and stuff. So some of them had fallen off their foundation stone, some of them were cracked, some of them were broken, some of them were so badly damaged you couldn't read them. And then there was a crazy squirrel that kept following me through the cemetery. I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. I'm not going to play with the crazy squirrels that are chasing me. So apparently they thought there was a man in the cemetery that had a giant metal pole, and they were worried that I was like doing something. So this guy comes and finds me, And he introduces himself, says who he was or whatever. I forgot his name. And I told him, I said, well, I come out here and I do paranormal stuff. And I showed him, I said, the pole is probably my tripod. So yeah, I have a metal tripod that my camera sits on. Showed him all my equipment and everything. And I said, I'm just out here talking to headstones. Literally, that's all I'm doing. And he said, well, I just had to check. She seemed pretty concerned about it. I said, well, first off, I'm a female. I know, short hair, but I'm a girl, and it's just my camera equipment. I'm literally carrying my tripods and stuff around. And so he had a good laugh. I had a good laugh. And then I went and drove through the cemetery, and he waved at me because he saw me again. It's like, okay, well, at least now he knows who the heck I am. He knows I'm not out here doing weird shit. But the last 2 times I've gone out, people have just randomly approached me for weird reasons, and it makes me laugh. It's like, that's unusual. Normally, nobody talks to me. I'm invisible when I go places, and that's changing. So I have to get comfortable with hi, what are you doing? I'm just being a weirdo out here talking to dead people. What are you doing? This is a hobby for me. It's what I like to do. So I'm not so worried about the zombies. I do think that that it could happen. I feel like I hate to even put that out there, but I feel like it's a side effect of COVID. That there's something that is going to create this zombie stuff. Did you know? And so this is so weird. That's what made me think of that. Is it the CDC or the WHO on their website actually, and I don't know if they still do, they had a zombie apocalypse protocol. You know who told me about that? My boyfriend. He was in the military for years. And he said, did you know that XYZ has protocol for a zombie apocalypse? And I said, you're kidding, right? That's not a thing. And he said, yeah, no, they have training that they do for that. They have certain protocol that would happen if that's a real thing. And why would they have that unless that's a possibility in the future? That's we plan for things like war. We plan for things like civil unrest. We plan for all these what ifs, right? Well, we know war can break out. We know civil unrest can happen. So there's protocol for that. There's protocol for pandemics, epidemics, outbreaks of certain really hazardous things. Why would they have a protocol unless they thought that was a possibility? Weird shit to think about. So I'm not what I would consider a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I always question things. I'm always curious about, well, why would that be a thing? Why would that happen? Why would we need something like that? Why is there funding for things like that? Somebody thinks it's a reality or it will happen. So I don't know. It's weird. I hope that's not the case, but time will tell, right? So I don't know, some oddball shit. All right. So since there's 2 or 3 of you in here, do you guys want a couple of cards or some charms real quick before we skedaddle out of here? And then I'm going to go be a couch potato until I pass out because I'm sore. We did a lot of raking and stuff in the front yard today, trying to pick up all the leaves from our trees. We decided to be smart, so we cleaned the gutters out. We used the leaf blower to do that. We haven't had a drop of rain or moisture in months, so most of them just came out super quick. And then I told my boyfriend, I said, what if we run over all these leaves with the lawnmower and break them up so we don't have to rake 800 bags of leaves? So we did that, and then we only had to rake up a tiny bit of leaves. That was nice. And then I had an asthma attack from all the dust. That was not fun. So I'm just ready to go rest at this point. Cards. Let's do some cards. What do we have? Ooh, the Hanged Man. What else do we have for Gisela? What's going on? 5 of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Knight of Swords. Okay. So I think that what they're giving me is there's a mentality of being stuck, but not that you're actually stuck, that there's something that can change. The 5 of Pentacles, you're about to go towards a period of recovery. That can be in money, that can be injury, illness, surgery, that you're in a period of recovery. But I do think that you are going to leave something or someone out in the cold, cut it off. And what's funny is what they're giving me with the Hanged Man back to back with that is that I feel like you're about to set yourself free from someone or a situation that was holding you back and keeping you stuck, and you're about to make some forward progress. So I feel like this helps to restore the balance in your life. Really, like a shift in perspective would do you good, is what I feel like. And I feel like you're going to come out on top. You're going to be brave and courageous, and you're going to choose to like cut things, people, or situations off that are blocking your money or blocking freedom from you. And you're about to make some forward progress. You could be traveling as well, movement, travel, relocation, purchasing a vehicle, things like that. The money will be available if the money's an obstacle. And I do think that you're going to take a trip someplace, or at a minimum, there's going to be some forward progress and movement. Now, I do think this is going to take some courage on your part to really set yourself free, right? Because the Hanged Man is a card that tells us that it's self-imposed. Normally, you would see him flipped around, like his foot in a noose, not his neck. So I feel like there's some sort of finality to this chapter for you. It's like, enough is enough. We're done. We're not doing this anymore. And you're going to cut something off and you're going to go forward. But it takes some courage on your part to get there. Daryl told him, I am done. Yep. So I do think, what does that say? Looking to change healthcare. I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of changes. And most of them are going to end up being positive. But it's like, sometimes we're scared. But this helps you to restore the balance, right? So justice is about equal give and take. It's about, balance being restored, blind justice, right? Like, so the blindfold's going to come off so that we can find the balance, truth coming out, things like that. So it'll help to rectify the situation. Courts, contracts, and legal issues being resolved in a positive way. So I think that's always good too. Do you think things are looking up though? So that's a plus. All right. Anybody else want cards or charms? Let me know. And I know there's a delay. But yeah, I think this year has been really painful. So next year is going to be better. And the reason I know that is because even in numerology, like this year is a 9. So if you add up all the digits, 2025, you add 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay. If it's a double number, you reduce it down to a single number. So 9 is all about you're almost at the finish line. So it's got to dismantle all the things that aren't working for us so we can get to that finish line, right? Think about a marathon, right? You've seen marathon runners and they're miles and miles long, right? So if they peter out in the first leg of the race, they'll never cross the finish line, right? So it's about stamina. It's about being able to actually tough it out through the difficulties to cross that finish line. And that's what this year was all about. It's about letting go of all these things that are holding us back, that are a deterrent for us to actually achieve that next goal. So next year is when we hit that goal. So it's going to be better. That's why this year sucks so bad. All the way across the board for literally every person I've talked to. They're like, this year has been shit. I'm like, I know, believe me, I know. It has been absolute hell for a lot of people. And then we just dealt with all the crazy mess with the government being crazy and shut down for well over a month. It's nuts. All these things are happening, are crazy, but they have to, so that we can finally move forward, right? And reach that next goal. So I'm excited for next year. I feel like every time we get to the end of a year, it's like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over with. Oh, I'm so excited to start something fresh. So now is a great time to start planning or setting goals for next year, but don't act on it yet. So the true new year isn't until Aries season begins, which is actually like April. So about mid-April, that's when the true new year starts. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac wheel. So Pisces is the last sign. So that would technically be when our year starts and ends, but we don't have a calendar that works like that anymore. So our new year is technically in the spring, right? And it should be, because that's when all of the things actually make sense, right? all the trees, plants, and flowers come out of hibernation. So it doesn't make sense to have a new beginning in the dead of winter, right? It's like it goes against what nature actually is programmed to do. So plan or set some goals for the next few months. Don't actually act on most of those, especially if they're big goals, until about Aries season, about mid-April, around the 20th or so of April. So the next few months, you can plan, you can come up with goals, do some work behind the scenes, but nothing gets like the trigger pulled on it until around Aries season. And that's going to help you to actually really make progress. I do think most of the retrogrades end prior to that too. There might still be one or two that are retrograde, but I think the majority of them will actually be direct. So even better reason to wait until some of that's able to go forward. New Year is summer and it's too hot to do anything. I agree. I feel like, I look forward to the warmer weather because I like to garden and things like that, but my body hates the heat anymore. Hates it. Hates the cold too. I need to be in a place where the temperatures are relatively mild because I just feel like my body is like, ugh, lady, we can't do this anymore. We're old, we're tired, everything hurts. So it was so warm out here today. Let me see. What was the temperature here today? Because I felt like I was getting sunburnt raking leaves today. It was crazy. I was like, it's never this warm this late in the year. Let me look. Let me see if I can get my phone to work today. If I could spell. There we go. So it's currently 48 degrees right now, which is still warm for at nighttime because it's almost 11 o'clock my time right now. And tell me what the high was today. Maybe not. I want to say it was in the 70s today. Yeah. It says it was a high of 70, but I think it was warmer than that. It felt warmer outside. And then it looks like Thursday and Friday we might actually get some snow. We'll see. Has not snowed yet this year here, so we'll see. So Thursday and Friday, maybe I'll go live if it starts snowing. Or do some videos for you guys. Maybe I'll throw on one of my silly hats or whatever. Yeah, absolutely, Brady, you can. So let's see what's going on with her. What's happening in your world? What's the energy? There we go. Ooh, Temperance, Strength, the Hermit, Ace of Swords. Okay. So I feel like Spirit's going to help you to really turn over a new leaf and see just how strong and powerful you actually are. Okay. Love that. I feel like there's something in your life that they're telling me is going to fall by the wayside and things are going to break loose for you because of how strong you've had to be in some area of your life. You also might have been doing some shadow work on yourself, right? Inner work, healing, time alone, reflection, could be any number of things, journaling or whatever that you're doing to gain the clarity. Okay. So there is a new beginning after really being to yourself for a while. So kind of pat yourself on the back for how far you've come and take a break. You don't have to do a bunch of intense stuff right now. Spirit's going to help guide you the rest of the way. What else does she need to see? But I do think that you're kind of coming to completion. There's also, I'm feeling like tingling in my forehead. So your third eye could be amplified right now. I'm also getting tingling in the back of my head. So there could be something going on with headaches, neck aches, pressure. They're telling me Spirit's about to give you a kick in the butt in the best way possible, leading to some more new beginnings. So get creative. I almost thought I love that. It's like tingly sensation. They're telling me spidey senses tingling. You've seen the Spider-Man movies where it's like the sixth sense or the intuition is starting to amplify. And so you might feel tingles around your third eye. your crown or at the base of your neck. And so that's indication that things are starting to open up for you. Okay. Anything else she needs to know? Yeah. So you doing the work is going to be rewarded. You might also be doing a lot more work that's paid work, as well as, how do I put that for her? You're investing in your own future and success by doing your best everywhere you go, but it's also about putting the work in yourself that's going to help you kind of transform and pay off with this new beginning. So you have the clarity that's coming in on what's working and what's not, and you also have this like passion project or needing to follow your passions, let the creative juices flow, and let your spidey senses kind of guide you where you need to be. I'm going to get some charms. We need to see for Friday. Here we go. Ooh, okay, we have the moon, we have the sailboat. So things are definitely going to be illuminated. Can you even see these? Sometimes I wonder if you guys can even see those on camera. I do feel like travel is coming for you too. I feel like you need to go near water if you're able to. Now, I know Australia is surrounded by ocean, but I don't know if you're like in the middle of it, landlocked, or if you're able to go near water. It doesn't have to be the ocean, but streams, ponds, lakes, things like that. It's going to help you to like clear your head and ground your energy too. We have a tower. Some big changes are coming for you. This reminds me of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I think that's in Italy or something. You know, it's the tower that's like leaning, looks like it's going to fall. I feel like this tower moment, since it's with the Hermit, I feel like they're big changes because of your hard work, right? Like confirming the message. Love that. We have a cat. They're telling me purr like a kitten. So really happy, really excited. Growth, right? With flowers, we have growth. That is a poinsettia. So I don't know if you guys celebrate Christmas the same time we celebrate Christmas at the end of December, but there's something to do with that time frame that you really do need to rest. Okay. And so take that seriously. Moon and stars again, truth, clarity being shed. I do think that you have a wish that's coming in. They're telling me 2 halves to the same whole. You could be meeting someone if you're single right now. And we have the infinity sign with hope. I think there's the potential for new love or romance to come in if you want it. Could be with a Cancer. Crabs could be significant. Ocean stuff is somehow significant. So let's see. Oh, they're saying, you know how they have crab claws, right? I feel like you want to be careful that you're not like being defensive or crabby with people. That's a weird way. We have the letter P, so that could somehow be significant. We have the scissors and a ring. So I feel like you're cutting a commitment off. I also feel like a new commitment could be coming in. I feel like Spirit doesn't want you to lose hope that love can find you. It's never too late for that to happen. But I do think that you are working on yourself right now. And so that might not be like at the forefront of your mind. And I feel like you're energetically cutting a lot of cords going forward. I want one more tarot card. Yeah, you need boundaries, right? So cut the things off that aren't working, right? Energetically cut those cords, snip them away. Because I feel like that's also going to give you clarity when you clean out all of that energy that you don't really want around you. So positive changes, but I feel like you're going to be working on you a lot. I feel like you're also eliminating things that you don't like and you're creating the change in your world. Spirit's also going to help you find balance because you're doing the hard work. So I love that. And you're going to see exactly how strong you are. You're going to see what all of these like roadblocks have been about. So it's important. And 6 of Cups. We're in retrogrades, right? So memories resurface, old partnerships sometimes resurface. It's a review. Do you want to go down that road again or do you not? And you always have a choice. So choose wisely, cut away what's not serving you. I do think there's commitment coming in for you. We had one of the rings, right? It could be you that's holding yourself back. So Spirit's going to make you be brave in order to get this next achievement, this next level, this next accomplishment. But it's going to take teamwork to make the dream work. So you've got to work well with your intuition. My head's tingling all over again. So I think that Spirit's getting ready to kind of blow up your intuition in the best way possible, right? So they might start communicating with you a lot more. There might be certain signs or symbols that show up repeatedly. Look into those, because I feel like there's going to be a ton of things that change for you in a really good way going forward. One more. You're going to have a wish fulfillment coming in. 9 of Cups is like, normally it's a person with their arms crossed and there's like cups all over. So I feel like you're going to be really smug, really happy, really excited when these changes happen. Like Tower moments aren't great, but at the same time, they need to happen. And there's your Wheel of Fortune. So unexpected financial blessings coming in could be in the form of a partnership, work, love, whatever. So put in the hard work on yourself. I know shadow work is not always pleasant, but it is so profoundly important to get us to where we need to be. So do it. I also do shadow work stuff. So if the collective ones resonate, great. Sit with those feelings that it brings up, journal about it, whatever. Or you can always book a private one-on-one with me to do that as well. So however that happens to work out. But I feel like you're really transforming as well. We all are, right? We're all here to change and learn and grow and all that good stuff. So this next year is going to be big. Promise you it's going to be big, and it's going to be big for growth and blessings and things finally getting back on track, because we're doing the hard stuff now. So I love that. All right. Anybody else that wants a few cards before we go? And if not, we're going to skedaddle. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. So remember, these ones are on replay. You guys can rewatch them or whatever. So if you got a personal or whatever, you can save it, all that stuff. And I would encourage you to like go back in a few months and see, did anything happen that we talked about or not? That's why I'm so excited to do the 2026 year ahead readings for the Zodiac. So look for that in a couple more weeks. So we'll do a January month ahead, and then we're going to do 2026 year ahead, and they'll be sign specific readings. So those might be the only readings up in like a 2-week thing. So be patient, and they're going to be longer readings for the year ahead. So they'll have a lot of information. Part of me wants to do like a ton of stuff in there. But then I know I'm going to be exhausted, so I have to pace myself because I know better. I know if I do like an hour per sign, I'm going to be like, dude, I don't want to read tarot at all for like a month. So I'm going to try really careful not to do all that crazy stuff. It is definitely past my bedtime. So I'm going to go. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you before. And we'll see you guys next time.